Hey, what's going on with everybody? It's your main man Antonio. You know, a few years ago I came out with an episode of work for yourself and basically not no one else. And this is gonna be a part 2 to this. I should have did this a long time ago, but I never got around to it. But I want to touch on it today. Now today, I want to bring to everybody's attention. I know in the past I brought up in this video I was talking about working for yourself, how my workers out there who gets it in and day out, who's putting in 40, 50, 60 hours a week, their tail day in and day out for a company that's paying them minimum wage or maybe a little bit more than minimum wage, but you're getting a paycheck every 2 weeks. You know, and I've sit back and I've watched a lot of people who's very, very skilled at their craft, whether it's security field, which I was in, or whether it's, you know, working for, you know, McDonald's or whatever the case may be. I've seen a lot of people that have a lot of skill that they bring to the table. They work hard. They never turn down work. They think outside the box. All of this is assisting the owner of that company that they're working for. You know, and now I'm sure a lot of you out there can witness this. They promise you a raise, they promise you a promotion, they promise you all this stuff, but at the end of the day, you know, you may get a little bit of a bonus, but you back to square one again. You're just busting your tail day in and day out for this company. Well, this is part 2, like I mentioned, of that series, because I want to touch on more that I couldn't get a chance to touch on back then. You know, a lot of us, you know, we come up with great ideas. We have ideas in us, and we do things as a hobby, and we don't even know that, you know, we are good at what we do. We have other people telling us things that, oh man, you good at this, you good at that, but we haven't really brought it out to the world. And the people who's telling you you good at this, that good at that, these are your close friends, relatives, right? You may get a few people here and there that know you're doing whatever you're doing. That's awesome. And they tell you you're doing good at it, but I'm talking about really publishing it to the world. And I think it's really beneficial to a lot of you out there. Listen in on this, because it starts today, especially in this world nowadays when nothing is promised to us. I get it. A lot of us, we are worried, right? A lot of you worried about starting off from scratch, you know, really starting from scratch, starting over. But I want you, and this is the real critical part I want to talk to everybody about. Now, when you start your own business, okay, of course it's going to be rocky. Of course it's going to be iffy. But the problem is just like when you start a first job. How many can relate? When you first start a job, right? And out the blue, you start getting anxiety, right? You start, I wonder if I'm going to do good. I wonder if they're going to like me. I wonder if they're going to keep me. You know, the first time the boss asks you, hey, can you stay over? Can you do more hours? Then you run into yourself. How can I make this work? I got to go pick up the kids. I got to go pick up this and that, right? The point I'm trying to make of all of it is you're going to run into obstacles. Even then, there's a chance you may get fired. I know people who 1 week into getting a job, they're fired right on the spot. So my point to this is, and this is what we want to bring to part 2, is don't be afraid to go after it. Yes, get in your mind state that you're going to have anxiety. You're going to start from scratch. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. But I want you to think right now. I want you to think to yourself right now. If I have already anxiety from the job that I'm starting right now for a company that can fire me on the spot, if I already have an issue that I'm going to come in contact with, me starting off at a job, or even if you become a veteran at this job, anybody can mess up and get fired, right? If you already have these anxieties and all this pressure that's on you on a daily basis, you know, especially if you like I was in management, you know right away that you're gonna have anxiety even if you're off the clock, because when you're a manager, things is always rolling. You know, when you even in the office that you have to respond to emails, phone calls. If you already have this much pressure on you, you know, what is stopping you from having that same exact pressure to starting your own company? Your own company. See, you already, a lot of us, we think about the bad parts. You know, what if? I gotta start from scratch. I gotta do this. But here's the question. What if you start your own company, right? and you're going to have that anxiety. You're going to have that. But now you already on top of the game, because now you have no one to respond to. You have to hold yourself accountable, right? You have to do these type of things in order to become a successful business. If you now listen, I'm talking to the ones that's been putting in hours and hours and hours, of work each and every week for companies. I'm talking about go-getters. I'm talking about people who hustle, right? So if you already have that anxiety, you already working your tail off day in and day out, have anxiety about accomplishing tasks, what about phone calls, make deals. A lot of the people out there who's in business that I know, they got to make deals, they got to close deals, they got to make sales, they got to reach a certain number. If you already have to do these things that's set forth in you, what is stopping you to do it for your own business? For your own business. Now listen, this video is not for everybody. I'm not saying each and everybody has to become an entrepreneur or things like that, because quite frankly, you have to have it in yourself. But what I'm saying is that the people who's hustling day in and day out, and you listen, people who's watching this video can probably relate. They know somebody who's doing that. They come home, they look forward to the weekend, right? They can't wait to have that drink. They can't wait to, be, just chill and relax. When you're on vacation, you're still getting phone calls. You're still getting, the ones I'm talking about, right? I'm talking to you. I'm talking to the people out there that's doing that type of deal. You see what I'm saying? So my point I'm trying to make is, if you out here, if you hustling and bustling, you getting after it day in and day out, I want to invite you to take a step back, right? I want you to take a step back. I want you to really think to yourself, if I can do this right now for Tom, Scott, and Jan, getting them their money, how can I, and why won't I, do my own thing? Because listen, at the same time, everybody is good at something. Everybody. Some people need more willpower. Some people need more focus. Some people need more mentors to guide them to the right direction. But the point I'm trying to make is, what are businesses? What are entrepreneurs? What are successful entrepreneurs? People who come up with great ideas. That's it. That's it. Successful entrepreneurs, they come up with ideas. But not only they come up with ideas, they stay on that path of success. They work day in and day out. They love what they do. They always coming up with ideas to make the business better, right? They don't just stop at one thing and say, oh, I'm content here. They stop. They keep going. They trying to figure out what else that they can do, right? So a lot of you got that already. I'm going to be honest. A lot of you have that right now. A lot of you have that right now as we speak. And the only thing that's really stopping you right now is just time and focus. Time and focus. Because A, you don't have the time when you working for somebody day in and day out, each and every day, barely getting any sleep. You don't have any time, right? And focus is because if you focus on what you have to do that's set forth in front of you to open your own business, you have to have that focus and that drive to keep you going and pushing to be that best and that successful entrepreneur. Period. And the reason I'm coming up with another part 2 is because I'm sure all you have heard about it before. It's very difficult to start a business. And it's not. I'm here to set the record straight right now. It's not hard to start a business. It's harder to maintain it. It's harder to keep going. It's harder to stay focused. It's hard to get on that track. It's hard to keep going. That's why 80% businesses fail, because they open up businesses. Think for a second. They open up businesses, but they fail because they don't know how to continue to run it, to how to keep focused on that path. Times change, businesses change, different things change on a regular basis. So you have to adapt with your business. for our personal trainers out there. If you want to start in person and training, very good. Build your foundation. That's great. But at the same time, you know, you have to understand, like, okay, well, if everybody starts shifting, like for right now, you know, everybody know about the pandemic, right? You're talking about shifting. Everybody know about the pandemic. So you have to adjust. Come out with virtual training. Come out with something that you can do, you know, at home or right now as I'm talking to you right now. Get you a tripod, get you a video camcorder. Let's get after it. Train your clients like that. Train new clients, the ones who can't make it to the gym because of the pandemic. They still got stuff at home. I'm sure a lot of people got stuff at home. Kettlebells, dumbbells, right? You know, start doing things like that. You see what I'm saying? I had to adapt. So it's not going to be a one-way focus. You have to understand things adapt accordingly, and for a business to strive, you have to continue to adapt with the program. You follow me? So yeah, if I didn't come up with virtual training, if I didn't do, you know, virtual stuff, of course, when it was time for the gyms to shut down and whatnot, I was going to lose that money. You know, I was going to lose that money. But why I didn't? I adapted. So think to yourself when you want to open up a business. Think to these little small principles, because you're going to have to use it in effect. Okay? I really hope this helps everybody. Go to truthandresultstraining.com if you want some virtual training. If you need some coaching, I can always coach anybody. I'm currently doing that right now. If you want some beast mode apparel, go to teamresultsapparel.com. If you're a beast and you get it in the gym, it's always, when it comes to team results, I want to tell everybody right now, it's driven, focus, and results. Everything what I just summed up in this video is outside of the gym as well as into the gym.